Welcome back to Footballology. So I know on my channel a lot of times I always talk about the prototypical receiver or prototypical running back or whatever, and a lot of NFL GMs and scouts look for the same thing as well. They want guys that look a certain size or certain height, weight, speed, the whole nine. And I kind of feature those guys a little bit more, and I kind of trying to get away from that a little bit. I want to kind of talk about just a variety of players. And one of the reasons why I love the game of football is because no matter your size, as long as you love and are willing to play the game, there's a position for you. So the guy I want to bring to you guys' attention today for the 2021 NFL Draft was Pooka Williams, or Anthony Pooka Williams. This guy kind of caught my attention like 2 years ago. He kind of blew up on the scene for KU. He was a guy that was playing running back, and the first thing that came to my mind was Dexter McCluster. I don't know, probably my Kansas City fans, if anybody remembers Dexter McCluster, and Ole Miss fans or Tennessee fans. People, you should have an idea of who Dexter McCluster is. If you don't, definitely go check him out. But at Ole Miss, Dexter McCluster was playing running back just like Pooka Williams was for the University of Kansas. He was a guy that was small and shifty in size, but we knew that that size wasn't going to translate to the NFL at that position. But I think a guy like Pooka Williams has a home in the NFL, and it always has to be a team that has a mastermind at the head coaching position for the offense, right? It has to be a guy like a Sean McVay or a Andy Reid or a Matt Nagy. I even feel like Doug Peterson can be put in that category. Just some guys that understand, that know how to use offensive weapons, regardless of their size, regardless of their stature. He understands and are willing to get guys open somehow, some way. So a guy like Pooka Williams can flourish in some of those systems. Now, one thing I want to see from Pooka Williams when he gets to the next level, I think I read something that said that they want to see him pick on more weight. I'm not sure if more weight's going to help him. He's already a guy that's, I think he's 5'10", 170, and he runs really well for his size. Like, you don't expect him to kind of take on tacklers, but he kind of takes on tacklers. He kind of allows that first contact or takes that first blow and kind of blows through that first contact, which is pretty interesting. Like I said, for his size, you always got to kind of emphasize on that because it's just like with his size, you don't expect him to be able to take hits. You feel like he's going to go down on first contact or all those little things. But he's also one of those guys that that if you put an open space, that he's probably going to make a defender miss. He's one of those guys that could probably make a defender miss in a phone booth. Like, that's where I feel like he's going to have a home in the NFL, and that's why I really compared him to Dexter McCluster. Dexter McCluster was a guy that coming out of Ole Miss could make a guy miss. Had decent speed, didn't have blazing or world class speed, but decent speed to the point where he could play at the NFL level. And I feel like Pooka Williams is that same guy, and that's one reason why I want to feature him. Nobody's really talking about him because I think he's not going to play running back. Like, I think that's 100% for certainty. He's not going to play running back, and if he does, it's going to be in like a more of like a relief or a spell role or just like more of a gadget running back kind of type thing. Not saying that he needs to make the transition to wide receiver, but I feel like he's going to make that transition to wide receiver. Same thing McCluster did when he got to the NFL, but I think he wound up playing some running back when he was with Tennessee. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But I think Pooka Williams is going to be a guy that's going to hopefully move to the wide receiver position. And this is where, once again, the NFL Combine, or lack thereof, is going to hurt some guys. Like a guy like Pooka Williams would have definitely worked out with the running backs because, that's where he played in college. But then, the scouts and the GMs are like, hey, would you mind staying and doing some wide receiver things, running some deeps, running some posts, catching the ball, fade routes, the whole nine, going through the gauntlet. He would have been that guy. He would have been in that position just to see if he would have had the opportunity to play receiver and how his hands look, how his routes look. Is there something to work with there? And I still feel like there is something to work with there. Like, he's a guy that can make somebody miss. And with the right offensive-minded head coach, or even offense in general, I think he's going to be a guy that can flourish at the next level. I'm excited for him. Like I said, I don't feature smaller guys. I'm always looking for the prototypical size guy, but I was excited for him when I seen him 2 years ago, and then I looked up and I realized that he declared for this year's draft. So I was like, oh, I definitely got to put him on the channel. So definitely keep your eyes out for Pooka Williams. He's a guy that I feel like that can make a home for himself in NFL, regardless of his size and stature. Maybe he does put on another 10 or 15 pounds, put him at like, 180, 190, somewhere around there. But I think realistically, he's fine where he's at. as long as he understands that he can't take those big hits, which I think he understands that, and he has speed to burn. Like it's going to be interesting to see him at the next level. Let me know what you guys think about Pooka Williams in the comment section below, and if there's a guy or a position that you want me to feature next, I would definitely go check out the position or the guy, whatever you guys are looking for. Let me know in the comment section. And if you're not a footballologist yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel today, become a footballologist, and stay safe, football fans.